Thank you so much for tuning into Culture Fix today. I am joined by Australia's Gojo, who is heading to Basel with his already classic entry, Milkshake Man. It's just a euphoric, carefree pop anthem, and I just can't wait to see it live. It's going to just blow the roof off. Gojo kindly joined me today to chat about Milkshake Man and anything else you fancy. So thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, that was a beautiful intro, I tell ya. I got goosebumps.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's the desired effect. And hopefully, some questions you've not had before, because I know like the Eurovision train is rolling and you will be hearing a lot of the same things. So we'll try and put in a few original ones for you.
Well, I'm intrigued now. Oh, all right.
Oh, maybe I've set myself up to fall here. So how is it feeling? Obviously, you are on the Eurovision train at the moment. You're well into promotion. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's been so fun, especially meeting the artists because I met the artists all in Amsterdam and like everyone really gets along and everyone's very supportive of each other and every time I'm with them it always feels like they all want every each other to win. So I think that is a huge aspect of that and feeling and it's just so much fun. All the fans are like very expressive and very loving and appreciative as well and yeah, everything's been so fun and great, a lot of hard work, and yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see because I think when the pre-parties start, so do all the kind of like not I don't want to say friendship groups, but it's interesting seeing which acts gravitate towards each other. So it's
Yeah,
it's cool as a kind of nice little consequence of Eurovision that you've got all these new friends. Nice.
yeah, exactly. And that's like we were talking about it as well. I feel like we're all just going to be lifelong friends after this. We're talking about I think I was talking about it with JJ, how we're going to have a 10-year anniversary one day as well where we all just come back into the same room and probably perform the songs.
Yeah, why not? Doesn't matter if there's an audience, just go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, let's jump back to the start. Obviously, you kind of wrote and produced Milkshake Man with Sheppard, who have got quite a kind of cult following here in the UK as well. And they're coming over on a tour, I think, next month. I want to say, or quite soon. Um, what was the kind of the creation of the track like? Was it kind of we're all going to go in and create a Eurovision entry, or let's go create a song and see what happens?
It was a bit of both. I mean, obviously, like they knew and I knew that we were there to write a song for Eurovision, but obviously we like when you're writing, I don't know, kind of specifically, it can kind of ruin the magic sometimes. So we had it in mind, obviously, but we just like, yeah, we're just writing like songs that we loved as well, but we tried to make them a bit more extreme as well, a bit more extraordinary, we which was made it a lot of fun. The sessions, like it was one of the funnest weekends I've had in my entire life. It was so fun. We ended up
And
writing 10 songs as well.
yeah. So that was going to be my next question. Was there like multiple songs that came out of that and potentially an album? I don't know.
Well, definitely there's I know there was like four to three that I love like wholeheartedly and really want to release. Um and yeah, that was just like, yeah, I just found we were all so creative. We worked so well together. Those guys are just extremely talented. And such a beautiful, loving family as well. I even stayed for dinner at like every night. It was just beautiful.
That sounds very wholesome.
Yeah, it was. That's what I meant. It just felt like I was catching up with friends. But then when you're catching up with friends and you're writing music and music that you love, it's like it's such a power. The way that that makes me feel is, yeah, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world to me.
And so you said like maybe three or four songs that came out of the session that you're really keen to release. Why was Milkshake Milkshake Man the one that you kind of thought, right, this is my Eurovision song?
I think it's because to me, it had a lot of hooks in it, and the meaning of the song as well was a big one for me. And I just love, I think the title of the song is always a very important one, and that's aside from Eurovision as well. Just as a musician, the title of the song is very important. And there's just something about Milkshake Man that, yeah, and like, picturing an image around it as well, because, there was other songs that could have really fit Eurovision in my opinion as well, some of the other ones. But they didn't have as much of like the identity, like the visual identity, which I had for Milkshake Man.
what does it mean to you? Because obviously you said that, Milkshake Man had a real strong meaning to you. What can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So the song I have this folder that I've always wanted to, that I have like concepts that I've always wanted to write about. And there was one that I've had for a very long time, which was about confidence and self-expression, which is something that I have a lot of now, but I had to learn how to acquire it. And that's what I wanted to portray that kind of concept into Milkshake Man, and that's kind of what it is. So Milkshake Man is like a mascot of confidence and a mascot of um, you know, like showing the largest and loudest version of yourself. And that's like the world that I wanted to create. So I wanted to create this environment where people can look in and be like, whoa, I want to step in that world. I want to be a part of that. And yeah, this is exactly what the Milkshake Man hopes to inspire.
And what point was it in your life that kind of like the light switch went on and you suddenly thought, you know what, like I'm just going to be authentic and live confidently? Like, what point was that?
It was like the childhood I had, I was off grid, and quite isolated from society. I had the most beautiful upbringing. My mother and father are my absolute icons. I look up to them every single day, and they raised us so beautifully. Um, and yeah, it was very isolated out there. And then it came to when I came, and I felt like not having television or stuff like that, it enabled me to think very individually and like on my own with my own thoughts and figure out things on my own. So I kind of felt like an individual when I came to moving to, a dense population like the big cities. And then it was a little kind of harder for me to fit into that because it was so foreign to, the way I grew up. And I think like I've always been expressive and I've always been confident, but it took me a while to kind of like find that again in like, the density of the world and being surrounded by all these things I was unfamiliar with. So, yeah, and then when I found it again, I was like, whoa, I like the power of it, the feeling as a human being, just being so free and, expressive the way that I want without having chains on me, without having overthinking thoughts of being like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's one of the most powerful feelings I think a human being can experience.
And it's such a nice message to put out there because I think there's so many people that if they could turn back time, they would have just stopped caring so much earlier than they did in
Yeah.
life. Or some people that haven't found that yet. So I think it's a really nice message to put out and just say, you know what, just do it.
And a lot of people do. And I spent a bit of time in a retirement village, and you learn a lot of things from like the old souls. And I remember a lot of people say like they say like I wish I didn't care as much and things like that. And that always, and I think it's also another reason to why I was so strong on this concept, because when I like hear those words and then knowing like what it's like on the other side, it's like I really want to help people through that, and I want to try and just I want people to have a good time and just be the most loudest and proudest versions of themselves, because that's what it's who we are. And being proud of yourself is there is no better feeling.
I love the idea of Milkshake Man blasting out of a retirement home.
Yeah, it's coming.
Um, I know, obviously, this is the thing you can't talk about. It's the thing I'm going to ask about, though. Staging, outfit, costume. What are you thinking? Like, can you give me a few words to describe the vibe, or is the call going to get abruptly ended?
Now I do want to keep it a secret though, because I like to keep people on the edge of their seats, not knowing what to expect. And yeah, it's very exciting. We've already started rehearsals and stuff like that. So I'm very excited to just like come out and show the world Milkshake Man.
Yeah, and it's quite nice, I suppose, because obviously people have seen the videos, people have watched the pre-party performances, or maybe seen some of them in person. But you kind of have a bit of a blank canvas because there's been like no national final. People can just, expect the unexpected, I suppose.
Yeah, which is exciting as well. I like I said, I think coming out with like something coming out with a bang is and not knowing kind of where it's going, because I know I see that on a lot of comments, like a lot of people don't know what I'm going to be doing and stuff like that, and that just excites me a lot because yeah, I think it's like when you don't know what to expect, it's kind of like you're sitting on the edge of your seat, like what's going to happen here? I don't know what to expect, and so I'm excited for that.
Great. Well, hopefully no anxiety, no panic attacks. It's going to be, we'll enjoy it. We won't be scared.
Yes, exactly.
Um, Thinking about Basel, is there anything that you're kind of maybe excited about, or maybe on the other hand, maybe nervous about? What are your kind of emotions about taking to that stage?
I don't. I try to take every day as a 24-hour window. But I've also been performing. I mean, I haven't been performing for long. My first show, like ever show, was in 2022. So I have not been doing like performing live for the longest time. But I've always been a show off, and I know like I in the last 3 years I have played an uncomprehendable amount of shows from the some of the biggest stages to yeah, I've been playing a lot of bigger stages as well. So yeah, I feel like I don't, obviously I get nervous, but I've it's like you manage it and you every time I perform I'm nervous, but it's like the crowd every time they see it, they notice it less and less because it's like a skill that you kind of learn how to manage, if that makes sense. But
Yeah, I think as someone who's not a performer, to think of being on that stage is horrifying. But like for you, maybe it is, like the ultimate adrenaline rush.
yeah, it's exciting, exactly. And that's a thing to remember is that we do these things because we love it as well. And but I understand like a lot of people do get really nervous, and that's not to say that I don't, because I definitely do too. But I know it can kind of like translate into excitement and exactly adrenaline too.
Recently, you have covered an Australian icon, Gina G, with her, just it's just a classic, isn't it? Um, what was the approach to that? Because obviously it's very Gojo, but also as fans of the original will love it. How do you kind of go about approaching a classic track like that and not alienating the Gojo fans or the Gina G fans or the kind of fans of the song?
Yeah, well, I remember that it was like as soon as I was like as soon as we had like a date locked in that we needed to deliver the cover, I just knew instantly that was the song I wanted to do because I love it. It's so fun, and it's like you can kind of like bring the world of the Milkshake Man into it as well, like visually, especially in that song. And it was just, yeah, I knew that that was the song I wanted to do because, yeah, just being fun and catchy and, just like, yeah, I think that was definitely the reason why I wanted to do it.
You've obviously now been in Europe for a little while doing the promo and stuff. What have the biggest culture shocks been coming from Australia to Europe? Are there any things that we do differently here that you're like, "Wow, what's going on here?"
Well, I mean, driving on the other side of the road is
Yeah,
always like,
that's a big one.
it's like, every time I get into a car, I'm always going to the driver's side, like over here. That's typically the passenger side. Um, the culture shocks. I don't think there's like, yeah, I don't think there's too much. Like, my dad and mom are both European, so like, I was told about a lot of it growing up and stuff like that. But obviously, it's just the buildings here too, and the landscapes are just so beautiful. And every time we get in a car or drive or walk somewhere, my floor's just on the floor every time.
Well, I've got
I'm like a kid in a McDonald's playground. I'm just like, oh,
yeah, sensory overload.
yeah.
um, Obviously now, Australia are quite established in Eurovision, and the people that are saying, why are Australia and Eurovision have started to kind of die down a little bit. They're still there, but there's a few of them. Um, do you have any Australian Eurovision tracks that are your go-tos that you just kind of love and are really proud of?
Any Eurovision facts?
Tracks. Any Australian Eurovision tracks that you are really proud of as an Australian?
Oh yes. Well, I love Sound of Silence by Dummy M. Like that is I've always loved that song. It's just incredible. The vocal performance, the ad libs, the final chorus. everything, the outfit as well. I caught up with Dami recently too, and she gave me some insight into the competition and stuff like that. So that was really special too.
You feel Sound of Silence should have been a winner. It's just such a good song.
Yes, it is, and it's just like it's so catchy. Yeah, it was a smash, that song.
Um, Thinking more generally about the Australian pop music scene, like as icons, Delta, Natalie Imbruglia, Kylie Danny, NXS, so many cool acts. Who are some of your favorite Australian musicians?
Well, I've loved a lot of rock and roll. So like I love Midnight Oil. I love Yothu Yindi. Yeah, there's so many Australian artists. Delta Goodrum, obviously, really good. There's so many. That's like I know I could, if I had 5 minutes, I could list at least 100.
Well, on that note, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know it's a busy day for you. And I'm sad that I'm missing you in London because I'm here in Malta. I'm here for Home of Cant. But have a great time and enjoy, and good luck at Eurovision.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and thanks for having us on and giving us the time for that.
No problem. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.